Hello, Tarot Lovelies. It's Jilly. How are y'all doing today? I am coming at you today with a VR from a new person in our tarot community. Her name is Marianna, and she's doing um, a tag called Tarot Tube. I first saw this on Simon Two Spirits channel and then on the beautiful Eveline Timeless. Thank you so much for mentioning me, Eveline. I so appreciate that. And so I guess let's get started because you know what? It's hot up here and I don't have the air conditioner or the fan on because I don't want it to be too much noise. Okay. What made you start tarot YouTubing? Well, I started tarot YouTubing at the behest of the lovely Kellyanne Maddox. I started watching Kellyanne, oh gosh, like 3 or 4 years ago, pretty much. I think I've been with her pretty much from the beginning, and I had done some business sessions with her. She is absolutely fabulous, and she really encouraged me to start doing a YouTube channel. So it was maybe September-ish that I started of last year, and I was very sporadic about it. I am not comfortable in front of the camera at all. So it was hard for me to get started. These tarot tags have really been a blessing because it's kind of given me, I guess, something to talk about. And the why for the tarot tubing was not only for tarot related things, but I also do some spiritual counseling. I'm also a Reiki master, so I kind of wanted to not only talk about tarot as a spiritual practice, although that has been the crust of the biscuit here, and that's okay, but to get into some other things too, and I might at some point and I might not sure, but we'll see. Okay, number 2. What is the tarot scene like in my area? Well, interesting. It's interesting. So I live in northeastern Pennsylvania. It's really almost north central Pennsylvania in the United States, obviously. And we're a little university community up here. I think the population of the town I live in without students is somewhere around 8,000. When we first moved up here, obviously I didn't know anybody that read tarot, but I got involved in the Reiki community, which is, I mean, for our area, I think it's pretty large. And so I started reading tarot a little bit, and I was trying to think of ways that, I don't know, that I could kind of build community within the community. And another lovely tarot person that I met through Kellyanne, who is also a Reiki master, lives in Aberdeen, Scotland, and we talked a little bit about some ways to do that. And so one day, let's see, it was probably not this past spring, but the spring before. I was sitting here, as I do, and I thought to contact our university and ask if I could teach tarot through the continuing ed department. And I thought, you know, what can they say to me? No? If they say no, they say no. They said yes. So last year in September, I began teaching. It's called Tarot 101, Holistic Tarot for Healing. And I started teaching that, as I said, in September. I had 8 students in my first class. I am still connected to 3 of them pretty closely. We get together on a monthly basis and do wine and tarot at my house. I have since taught a second class and had 4 students in that class, and I'm teaching again 2 classes this fall for the continuing ed department. So I kind of I kind of grew my own community, but it's really taking root and it's kind of nice to see. All right, so, oh, as far as store, like metaphysical stores, not so much. We have a little store here in town. I really wouldn't call it metaphysical. I would more call it paraphernalia, if you get my drift. And then they also sell incense and, you know, lovely wall hangings and the chimes that hang on the door that's in back of me. I got those there. There is a metaphysical shop about maybe a half an hour away from me. It's a very small shop, and I don't get there very often. So that's about it, honestly, in this area, unless you want to go like an hour or more away. There really isn't too much here. One of my friends does sell crystals from her home, and yeah, that's about it. Okay, next question, number 3. Name an overrated deck and an underrated deck. Oh my gosh. So I saw this question. Well, obviously I've watched three of you now answer this, so I knew it was coming, and I walked over to my shelves where my tarot decks are, and I thought, all right, like, were you disappointed when any of these decks came? And the only one that I was disappointed in, and I'll tell you why, is this one. And I'm sad about it because I was really excited for it. And it was one that, you know, when you watch people do deck reviews or deck collections, it's in everybody's deck collection. And people will say, oh, you have to have, you know, this is one of those must-have decks. And so I bought it, and I was really, I was disappointed, and I will tell you why. So it was the Gilded Tarot, the Cyril Marchetti deck. And this is, apparently there is an older version that was not mass-produced. In the mass-produced version, and honestly, I had somebody, those of you who now are getting to know me know that I have a visual issue. I don't see well. And so, yeah, so that's an issue. But, so I had somebody who's fully sighted look at the deck to make sure that, I was right. And he said, no, you're right. So I don't feel so bad. But, the images on this deck look so, they don't look like they're in focus. And maybe that's the way it's supposed to be, but they look fuzzy. Now, the guy that I asked about this is also a deck collector himself. And he said that in the older version of the deck, it's not like this. So I am trying to find an older version of the deck. We'll see where that leads me. So yeah, the images were they're just really fuzzy for me, and so I don't know whether it's whether it was the printing run that happened. I don't know. So maybe somebody else that has this deck can tell me, because I just really don't know. But it's sad because I could never connect with the deck then either. So it sort of sits in the box on the shelf. And okay, so that's that sad story. Now, okay, there are the cards. The underrated deck. I bought this deck about a year ago. I haven't used it a whole lot, to be honest. I mean, like, I have my favorites that I use all the time, that I read most of the time for myself or for clients. But every time I take this deck out, I just love it. And I think it would be considered, as Eveline said, one of the cute decks. But I just, It's a beautiful deck. It's Tarot of the Moon Garden. I love how, let's see, I got some cards to show you. Oh, look at the Chariot. It's whimsy, and it's got, the colors in it are really cool. Look at the pentacles. I love how these pentacles are depicted. Right? That's cups, I think. Yeah. The cups. And then my favorite, let me get them. Oh, here. My favorite are the swords, because they're dragonflies. I just love it. Yeah, so the colors speak to me, the images speak to me, you know, everything that the cardstock speaks to me. So everything that's important about a deck to me, it like really, really is in here. So, and I'm sitting here kind of going through it now, and I'm thinking, you know, I need to take you out and work with you again. I think I'll keep you out for a while. I like to work with a deck, take a deck and work with it for a month, like a new deck. So right now I'm working with the Gaian Tarot, and I'm working with that for all of June. I worked with it for part of May too, but I wasn't consistent with it. I had some other things going on, and I really wanted to sit down and work with the Gaian Tarot every day and really, really get to know it. So that kind of like... so then I don't really pick up another deck and put it and use it. I'm only using that one, which means you only get to use 12 decks a year. And, you know, when your collection's like 50, it's a long time. So, yeah, I think I'll pick this guy up again. Okay. 4, Tarot in one word. Spirit. Tarot is spirit and the divine to me. When I read tarot, it's like having a conversation with the divine. It's like sitting down and having a cup of tea or coffee with a spirit guide that's trying to show me something through the pictures and the cards. And yeah, spirit. 5. Name 3 small YouTube channels. Well, so I'll probably go over 3 again, because I would want to mention Eveline for sure, Eveline Timeless. She is so lovely and so honest, and she's funny, and she's right on with, I think, you know, with her opinions of tarot and her thoughts on tarot. I really, really appreciate her a lot. And I also, Eveline, I so appreciate our interactions in our messaging back and forth. I really appreciate that as well. Let's see. Time for the hair to go back here, folks. Okay. Who else? Oh, Annika, Nobody Here. If you have not checked out her channel, please go do that. She is lovely, and when you visit her channel, it's like you're sitting down at her table. And I think Simon said this in his video response, but it's like you're sitting down at her table and having a cup of coffee and just talking about tarot or spiritual things. Or she generally begins her videos by lighting a stick of incense and gonging her bell. What's that word? Intoning the bell. or the last video she shared, she actually went through the process of making coffee. And I thought, man, you know, I get up every morning and I make coffee um, in my French press, and it's a ritual. It's like the morning ritual, you know. I get up and I make, it's holy. It's a holy moment. We don't think of it that way because all we want is that coffee. But man, if you just sit there and go through that process, it's our awakening to our day, you know. It's yeah, so I really appreciate her and her thoughts on tarot as well. And then the other channel that I really enjoy is, I really enjoy Lisa, Tarot Alchemist. She is just a joy to listen to. She's from New Zealand, so she's kind of got that Kiwi twang going on. I don't know how to do it. I love, she and I have kind of like the Celtic connection going on, and she's also very, you know, very funny, but, you know, just really honest, good people. So check out those channels. All right, what's the next one here? What would you think, A, think, B, say, and D, do if tarot didn't suddenly exist? Well, so like I'm thinking if it were like taken away from us somehow, or if one day we were sitting here and then reading cards and the next day, poof, everything went away, I'd probably be saying something like, holy shit, what the fuck? That's probably what I would say. What would I do? Well, okay, so what I just said would be what I would think and what I would say. And what I would do is I make my own flipping cards because I have the technology and I know these things, so I can make my own. That's what I'd do, damn it. That question's enough to give one high blood pressure. Gosh, don't take tarot away. Whew. Okay. Ooh. And with that, I'll take a sip. Number 8, do you use tarot apps? No, I don't. But after watching all these video responses, I will be. Probably today. 9. What is your favorite thing about tarot community? Oh my goodness. This tarot community, it's so, we're so close, I think. You know, I say that we all live in different parts of this world, and yet this forum brings us all together. We all come at tarot from different perspectives, and we have different opinions, and none of us are wrong. We don't criticize. We don't yeah, we encourage each other here. We walk in spiritual integrity here, and I so appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that we hold each other dear, and that we look to each other for knowledge and for and appreciate each other's knowledge and where we come from and what our walks have been. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I appreciate this tarot community. And the only thing that I think I wish we could do differently would be, it would just be so cool if we could all get on to like Skype or Zoom or something one night and just have, you know, one big tarot card slinging party, wouldn't it? I mean, and really be able to like see and talk to each other in real time. I would really dig that. That would be me. 10. I think I skipped a question. Maybe I didn't. Okay, well, I'm going to say that I didn't. Oh, I did. What are your favorite? I skipped number 6, people. Sorry. So let's go back. Your favorite type of tarot tag on YouTube? No, I'm sorry, guys. It's a vision thing. Your favorite type of tarot video on YouTube? So, I love hauls. God, like, I love hauls. I love to see the decks people got and the spiritual things, witchy things, books, whatever. I really just love to see all that stuff. I love, love, love tarot tags because, like I said, I'm a little nervous in front of the camera and it gives me something to talk about. I love unboxings. Sometimes it's hard for me to sit through an unboxing. It's hard for me to sit through a long video, and yeah, this one's getting long, so I need to stop now. But yeah, hauls, and I wrote down a couple notes here, so let me just make sure. Oh yeah, and I really like conversations like nobody here, like Annika does. I really appreciate those as well, and I really appreciate people who can do that, who can just sit and talk and tell stories and do it comfortably. I hope that someday I can get there. Okay, now we're moving along again, back down to number 10. Tarot video ideas. I don't know. I struggle with this. I would like to put out something unique, some kind of a tarot vantage opinion. I thought about doing something about court cards because that seems to be something that everyone struggles with, or many people struggle with. So I don't know. I just really, really like seeing, I like seeing all the tarot tags. I like having the visits too. So just like the visiting, you know, just visiting ideas, just, you know, different perspective on decks or whatever. Those are my very convoluted, vague ideas, I guess. Okay. Who do I tag? Okay. I have 2 people I'm going to tag that I don't think have seen this yet. And one of them is Annika from Nobody Here. And the other person is another new YouTube channel that I absolutely adore, and it's called Wayward Son. So I tag both of you. Thanks so much, Marianna, for doing this tag. It was lovely to go on over to your channel and kind of meet you. I've subscribed to your channel, so now I'll be getting your updates. And I hope everyone enjoys, you know, watching this, and until we meet again, blessings to everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.